Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We find people who have built something sustainable, and not only people that built something, because not all people that build something can teach it or show other people how to do it, but we really try to find teachers. And today we probably have the best in the game when it comes to teaching how to like duplicate your success. So we got my brother, Mr. Matty J in the building. How you feeling?
Hey. The time is now. The time has
Don't
come.
be arrogant, brother. Calm down. Okay.
Yo, we've been waiting to have this interview for at least 2 years.
For sure. Way too long. Too long.
God came through with it. Just so everybody know, this is my real brother from church.
That's
like spiritual brother.
That's a fact.
We're in church every Sabbath day, keeping it holy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And the conversations aren't necessarily just like, yo, how much money you make today.
No, definitely
not. It's the character whole. Yes. That's why I value this relationship so much.
Amen. Thanks to God.
So for those that don't know, because we are going to get into this car rental game, and I'm excited to announce that I got my first vehicle. Okay, we got a 2017 Range Rover.
For what? Is it for personal use, or are we going to use it for cash flow?
No, we about to get this bag. What you mean? You know, actually, my thought was, so I'm around you, like you might pull up in an IA Neo, pulling up in the Rolls. You feel me? Like, yo, everybody got these cars. I'm like, I do some really amazing things, right? Guys afforded me to, do some really cool things in business. And I said, if I'm going to the next level, I think maybe some people need to see it and be inspired by it. So my thought is, I need to get one of these vehicles, bro. But for the way that I think is, I don't want to pay for it.
That's a bar.
So I sat down with my wife and I said, yo, we need to get some really nice cars, put them on Turo so we can make money and be able to drive something nice when we go out.
That's a fact.
And I remember the conversation. First off, before I get there, introduce yourself. Before I don't get too hype on this one.
What's going on, everybody who's tapping in? My name is CEO Matty J, and I'm a digital real estate agent, general contractor. I buy, sell, build, flip, fix businesses online primarily. And most recently, I'm actually in the car rental space. Car rental space has been doing really nice things for me lately. It's allowing me to share information, specifically how to turn liabilities on wheels into assets making deals.
Yeah, this joint is crazy. I remember we were at church, I think Sabbath just was over, and he said, yo, I'm about to put my car.
No, this is a real life story.
This is a real story.
Two years ago at church, we brought it up.
Yep. He's like, yo, I'm about to rent out my car. And he had just got the Tesla. Yep. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why would you rent out a Tesla to other human beings?
Your face was crazy. You looked at me like I was crazy.
I don't get it.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, yo, I'm about to get this this rental property. And he was like, yo, why don't you get a car and just sell a car? And I was like, yo, bro,
I remember that.
First off, people don't why would you rent out your nice car? First off. And then second off, real estate is like a proven way of building wealth.
Because you were investing at this time. I'm like, bro, you don't got to do all that. Just get you an Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I was like, yo, I got to buy a property and then rent it out. He's like, yo, you don't got to do that.
Yeah, I remember.
And he's like, yo, we are moving into a different age. Like, you need to take advantage of it. So walk me through that process.
Goodness gracious, man. It brought me back because I was going through a process where I'm like, dang, this works. Why isn't everybody doing it? And when I think about everybody, I first think about my closest friends. And I saw David Shez, he was actively investing. He was like investing a lot of income into this, the real estate property that you were doing. And I got started and I scaled really quickly. So starting off with the cars, my Tesla Model S, 2013, this was back in 2017, I believe, was sitting there doing nothing. I live in Atlantic Station. So this is an area in Midtown Atlanta, Georgia, where everything's literally there. All the top stores, the restaurants, clothes, Publix, everything you need is there. So my car was never being driven. So I realized like, wow, I'm paying $900 a month car note plus insurance about $1,000 for a car I'm not driving. Me, I'm a very logical person. And I'm like, yo, this doesn't make sense. And I come to find out after doing studies, reading these studies, 90% of cars that people have are sitting 90% of the time throughout the day, throughout the year. So I was like, all right, let me figure this out. My boy Jacoby, shout out to Jacoby, coolest nerd ever. He said, yo, there's a platform that you can rent out your cars on. At this time, it was called relay rides. It's now called Turo. So one day we were in our condo, and he went downstairs to say, yo, I gotta give my keys to somebody. I'm like, what are you doing, selling your car? And he said, no, I'm renting it. Like, you're renting your car? He rented his car, his I think it was a Challenger. Yeah, his Challenger, Superman logo and all that on the car, to somebody off of the platform called Relay Rides. Like, yo, how much they paying you? Yeah, I'm charging about $130 a day, but I usually charge $150. So you mean tell me somebody's gonna take your car, drive it for $130 a day, return it back to you, and you get to keep the cash? So yeah, kind of, sort of, because relay rides, they get a percentage. I'm like, okay, what's the percentage? He said 70-30, 70-30 split. I was like, that still makes sense.
Right.
But I didn't jump into the business right then and there. I just thought of it as a cool concept until I actually needed it, right? I actually needed it when I was realizing my Tesla was just sitting there doing nothing. So I go to Turo.com, check out the process. All they needed was a picture of my ID, upload a picture ID, and it was easier than making a Facebook profile. I uploaded a picture of my car, priced it, same day I got a booking, same day. But I'm really analytical, so I had to first do some research, right? I got the booking, I got super excited, over $150, but I had to do a little research on how to do a drop-offs, what happens if my car gets stolen, how's insurance taken care of. I was asking all these questions in my head, and I went on YouTube and found a couple videos, but it wasn't like, there's nothing like really step by step. So I was all over the internet. It'll be times where like 3 days in a row, I'll be up until like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get as much information as possible. But I said, all right, I'm gonna have information overload. Let me just go ahead and just follow the process and learn as I go. So I upload my Tesla. Maggie, her name's Maggie, my first booker. She had a son, she was in town. She told me the whole story. She had a son, was in for a soccer game. She needed me to drop the car off at the airport. She'll pick it up and return my car, right? So I dropped the car off, right? But I had to figure out, dang, I'm dropping the car off, how am I gonna get home? So I didn't think that far. How am I gonna get home, right? So I had to take Uber. The Uber cost was like $25, $30. So that's already cutting into my profits.
Right.
Like, hold up, is this really gonna make sense? Because I got paid $30 to go back home. Cool, whatever. Then she calls me and says, I can't get the car out the parking lot because I left it at the parking lot. This was a dummy mistake because I had no experience. So I left the car in the parking lot, and now she tells me the key. Well, no, she has the key, right? I left the key in the car. With the Tesla, I can unlock and lock the car from my app. So I unlocked it, but it charged her to take the car out.
Gotcha.
$32. It might have been 36, something crazy.
You're like 50-something
already. This is real life.
Yeah, you're like $60 in already.
Bro, so, all right, cool. I said, all right, I'll take my learning experience, cool. Right? I'm through the process, the days, hours are passing. I'm actively checking my Tesla app to see where she's going, how fast she moves. I was kind of low-key scared because this is my first time. Yeah. I personally have no personal attachment to any of the cars. Like, any car that I have is for business. However, I was still like going through the motions. Long story short, this was on a Friday, going into Saturday. She returns the car Saturday. Of course, I'm in church. She returns the car to the parking lot, right? But she leaves it inside the airport parking lot. Yeah. Now, I had to figure out how to get there on Sunday, Uber, or I could catch a ride. I actually got an Uber, which was another $20, I think it was $20. And then I had to pay another $36 to get the car out again.
That's $116. I'm just tracking like what's
off
going
of
on.
That just mistake that I didn't know better on how to manage property.
And then out of the $150 split, like there's a split, right?
It goes to Turo.
So you took an L.
The L wasn't even just, it didn't stop there. I got the car, this is real life, I got the car out of the parking lot, 30 minutes later, no lie, another booking for the airport. Bro, I gotta go all the way back to the airport and drop the car back and go through the process again.
Wow.
I could have just left it there and just had the next guest pick it up from there, right? So I'm going through the motions, but me, I'm like, okay, I'm not mad, I'm not complaining about the situation. I'm really enjoying this process, but I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out later on, right? Come to find out, the dude booked the car, same situation, you had to pay for the car, parking ticket, all that good stuff, whatever. But it was just my second booking. Long story short, throughout the month, I end up grossing, right? $4,000 off of the car.
First month.
Profit, yeah.
One car.
Yeah, one car.
Gross or net?
Gross. My profit was $26.65, gotcha. Something like that.
Gotcha.
Right? So where did all that money go towards? It went towards the washing the car. It went towards tickets, Uber rides, No gas because the Tesla doesn't take any gas. And what else? What else? The percentage fee and my insurance and other miscellaneous stuff.
But you still netted 26
yes,
one week?
in a month. So with me, I keep receipts of everything. So I have Excel sheets for every single month, every single day my car brings in income. I have the receipts. So after looking at my Excel sheet, I'm like, dang, I made $26.75 profit off of one car. In my mind, what do you think my next idea is?
I need to get another car.
I need to get another car. That's what I did. I went to Gravity Auto. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to owner Nick.
Shout out to Shane. He just gave me my car too. Yeah?
Shane got his car. Yeah. So I went over there. I start looking.
I need an affiliate link for Shane. Shane, listen, I need referrals, brother.
Yo, Shane about to have everybody at that dealership after this for sure. So I went there and I checked out cars. I didn't really know what car I wanted, but I did do a little research on Turo. I went on Turo to see what cars were performing the best. For sure, a Maserati. For sure, Corvette. And for sure, with the other luxury, well, not even luxury, Hertz, Sixth, Enterprise, the cars that they had on the luxury end was the best car they had was a Mercedes C300. So I knew that was going to hit because that's the cars that they're using. Right. So that's what I got. I got a Maserati and a Mercedes C300, both of them like metallic silver. I got them both at Gravity Auto. It was about 3 years old. I don't like buying new cars because of the depreciation. I always explain that in the course. But I got 2015 C300 and 2016 Maserati. My credit was so astonishing by God's grace, I didn't even realize the power of credit. I just knew that in order for me to get this car, it's either I pay cash or I fill out a credit application. I didn't even know what my credit score was. I didn't understand debt to income. I didn't understand stable residency, all the things that they look for to lend. I was just going in there. I just need a car. So they looked at my credit report and said, "Oh, you got enough credit to be able to get this car with no money down." So I get to leave with this car with no money down, and then as soon as I leave, I'm putting this thing on Turo, right? So the first 30 days, you don't got to make a payment. Right. So for the first 30 days on 2 vehicles, I was making straight profit. Right?
So you put your own car on there.
Yeah, I started with my Tesla.
And then what was the next cars you got?
I got 2 cars at the same time. The Mercedes.
Same dealership?
Same dealership. Same dealership. And I learned the process on how that works as well. So most people, they're like, why are you buying 2 cars? I'm just being transparent with Shane. I run them out. I need 2 cars. So they sent my credit report to different banks, and because my credit report was pretty good, they just gave me the they locked down the deal with 2 credit. One was Capital One, they're really good, and the other one was Ally Financial. Locked those deals down, got the car, got the keys, took pictures of the car, uploaded that thing real quick to Turo.
Really?
Yeah.
So now you got 3 cars on Turo.
I got 3 cars. I'm parking these people probably like, where are you putting in these cars? I live in Atlantic Station, so I'm in a gated condo, and you can only put the cars inside the nesting area, the gate, if you have a fob. So I only have 1 fob, so I have to figure out where I'm gonna park these cars. I parked at the Target across the street from Atlantic Station.
Everybody knows 3 luxury vehicles.
Yes,
at a Target.
I have pictures of it too. You go on my Instagram page, you'll see all the cars lined up, 3 of them, right next to each other. I took a picture all the time.
Even overnight?
Overnight. Even though it says not to, I did it because I had no other choice.
That was risky.
And I was cool with, that's another thing about relationships. I was cool with the security guards in the Atlantic Station. I've been there for 5 years. I rock with them, they rock with me. I'm cool with the security guard that works at Target, big old swole white dude, super cool. I had a relationship with him, so he knew my cars there. To the point where anytime he saw anybody next to my car, he'll say, "Yo, Matty, was one of your renters?" That's the relationship I had. So it was cool, right? So I park my cars there. I'll do my check-ins and check-outs for my guests all at Atlantic Station while I'm working on my other businesses upstairs in my condo. Right. So anytime I got a booking, okay, bet. Go down there, schedule the drop-off, make sure the car's clean, hand them the keys, drop the car back off when you're done, and with all the cars I have, I can remote, unlock, start, and lock the car from the app.
Can you add that to, is that something that
that's a feature? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a feature that some cars have natively. So Mercedes, they have a tool called Mercedes Me. It's a subscription. You probably pay $180 for the year, and you can unlock, track your car with the native app Mercedes Me. BMW has BMW Connect. Corvette has OnStar, but I always have multiple.
What about Range Rover? Because I'm asking you all the questions from my own car.
Right, exactly.
So they got it?
The Land Rover Range Rover, I don't know, because the Range Rover I got was in 2014. Usually that system came in play around 15, 16.
Gotcha.
2016. So I don't know how.
But I can add it.
And you can add it. You can add Drone Mobile. Drone Mobile is the tool I use to put trackers in my car. Hum device, my Verizon, I put that in there and I can be able to track, know the speed of how fast the car is going. I can know exactly where the car is. I can put geofencing on my car, so if somebody leaves the city, I get a notification.
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
There'll be people, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm 5 minutes away. Check the tracker. They still in Alabama.
Right.
Yeah, you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody goes 90 or 100 miles per hour, I get a notification. I'll send them an automatic text. You know what I'm saying? I know you enjoying the car right now, but we have a fee.
Slow down, my G.
If you don't slow down.
Right.
It's for your protection, because you can get hurt, so you can hurt somebody else, and most importantly, you might hurt the business and yourself.
Right.
So I explained that through the tracking system. So once I put the trackers in the cars, I realized that wasn't enough. Super Bowl. Super Bowl is the day that you make your most revenue when you're renting out cars, vehicles, anything.
How did you know that? Because you're new to the game.
Because I know anytime somebody travels, they need two things. They need a place to stay and a car to rent. Yeah. So Super Bowl, I'm ready to bank. It was so crazy that one of these CBS reached out to me on Instagram. They saw my listing. They saw that I had all these cars on Turo, and they also saw on Airbnb I had a bunch of units on Airbnb. They reached out to me for an interview.
Did you have more than 3 at this point?
No, I had 3 at this point.
Just 3? Okay,
I literally had 3. So they interviewed me. And said, because they saw my prices too, because they saw that my prices were almost double what they usually are. So their segment was about price gouging.
You fell right into the trap.
Here's the thing, right? I was like, they didn't have to get me, because I know how to explain myself. I know how to justify it where people say, oh, I didn't think about it like that. That's actually what happened. Right. So she was asking me all these questions. I was like, well, supply and demand, when there's an extra 10, 20, 30,000 people come into the city, the demand just rose, but the supply is lessened. So the only way to offset the difference between that supply and demand is to raise the cost. Yeah. Right? And that's actually what happened. And so I explained that. They interviewed me. I got that picture on a video on my Instagram page, right? And right before the Super Bowl, I said, all right, I'm going to need another car. I got me a Corvette. Same situation. I went to Ford Hennessy, found a used 2016 red, beautiful Corvette with only 8,000 miles on it. I think it was about $46,000. I didn't have to put nothing down because my credit, again, was good. And
how's your credit good with all these cars? And first of all, how do you get all these cars?
Yeah,
bro?
On
one man's credit.
See? So typically it's not an issue when you have the income to back it up. So they check your income. So if your income, but the thing is, if you have all this income, why don't you just put more down? That's what or why don't you just buy the car? I was like, yeah, I can, but I don't want to. They're not really investigating that much, right? At the end of the day, these dealers, they want to sell a car. But of course, on my report, I have 3 cars, right? So usually a lender is not going to want to lend somebody who has 3 cars on what you need a 4th car for. No, high risk, we're not going to give you the money. Here's what happened. My Maserati got damaged, right? It got into an accident. That's a long story, but I'm going to make it simple. My Maserati got damaged. It got totaled out. So Ally paid me the check.
By who? How did it get totaled out? You drove it? Or?
You sure? All right. You say it wasn't me. It was a renter. It was a very influential renter. The person might actually end up seeing this, but I'm not mad. We're cool. We're super cool. Sure. We're still doing business together. It's part of the business. Totaled the car. I put the claim on it, and they paid me out for it. But here's the thing: as I'm buying the new car, it's still on my credit. So I told the dealers, tell the banks that it's been paid off. And they asked, okay, show proof. All I gave was show proof that it's going to be paid off, and they gave me another car, which was a Corvette.
Oh, wow.
But here's the crazy part.
And when that Maserati got in an accident, the insurance just pays it out.
It pays it out.
So you're not in the L.
No, I'm not taking no L.
Yep.
So the crazy part was, now I need another car. I need more cars as possible before Super Bowl hits. So I get my Corvette from Hennessy Ford, and right before Super Bowl, I think it was like 2 days before Super Bowl, I checked my tracker. I asked my brother Dion, everybody know Chief Dion on Instagram. I said, Dion, hey, can you check on the Corvette for me? I have it parked in front of one of my townhouses. He said, cool, I'll drive up there. He calls me back, you sure that you left it here? Because the car's not here. Corvette's not there. I checked the tracker. The tracker shows that the car is not where I parked it, and the gas is on E, parked like 2 blocks down the street. Crazy. Right now, I'm kind of scared, but I'm like, at the same time, like, well, at least I know where the car is.
Did you forget that you parked there?
No. I know for sure somebody stole the car because I left my key in the car. I had a renter, and I just unlocked the key because you can't open the door if I lock the door with the app.
Right.
Even if the key's inside.
Gotcha.
So I'll put the key somewhere inside the car and lock it, and when the renter needs to get the car, I'll unlock it.
Gotcha.
That's how I was operating when I was ever in a rush. That happened that day, but I forgot to lock it. So that same day, somebody was checking people's cars on the street that day. Opened up a 2016 red Corvette. Oh, the door's open? Oh, and the keys inside? Got him. Caught me slipping. But it was God's will because at the end of the story, this is a pretty long story, but it's crazy.
Okay, well, you don't got to go through that
the emotions,
story, but yeah.
The whole point of that Corvette being stolen is, one, a major point was after the car was stolen, I filed a police report, and when I filed a police report, that I found out that the car wasn't really stolen. They say, well, if you know where the car is, it's not stolen. I'm like, oh, really? That's not how it works? Okay, cool. Well, can you guys help me get the car by sending somebody to make sure it's there? I don't want to have to deal with any problems if the people who stole the car are still hanging around. Cool. So they dispatched the officer to check on the car. She was talking to me crazy. Come get your car. Hung up on me. Right? Your car's here. Go get your car. Talking to me crazy. Right? Stress level. My stress level is I'm pretty high tolerance of stress, but as the emotions were going on, I'm realizing that, dang, this is really stressful. Yeah. But luckily the car was there. It just had a little rim rash, little scratches on the rim. So I called my insurance and let them know, hey guys, who was I with? My initial insurance. Who? No, Safe Auto. I was with Safe Auto at that point. I called Safe Auto and I told them, yeah, what can we do about the situation? They said, well, your deductible is $500 and your damage is less than $500. So do you really want to put a claim on a car where you're still going to be paying more? I was like, okay, cool. But what can you guys do for me? Well, you have free tows on your plan. Okay, cool. Because the car, when I opened the car, the key wasn't inside. And the anti-theft locked the car. So I can't even do anything. I can't do the remote start.
Right.
So now the car's stuck. I got to get it towed to the dealership to get new keys. So I told them, yeah, at least give me a tow to tow my car over there. So they said, we'll do it. It'll be there in an hour. 2 hours passed. No tow truck. I was like, dang, I got things to do. So I went back to my office temporarily, right? Literally 10 minutes later, the car is now moving. I checked to see it, go back to the car. Now it's not moving. Right. It's going super fast, 85 south towards Camp Creek area. Mind you, the car was in Midtown. Right. So I'm like, okay. I thought somebody might say, dummy, why would you leave the car? Well, I had a low, super low alertness of, I didn't have a high level alert on the car being stolen again because I thought it was just some little kids who were just checking cars in a high profile car, drove it around the city for a couple minutes, maybe an hour, let the gas go all the way in E and just dropped it off somewhere. That was what I thought happened. Not come to find out that the people who stole the car were actually probably living in that same apartment building.
In that building.
And once they probably even saw the cops there, and once they saw us leave, right? So, but it's still, even when the car was stolen, I wasn't tripping. So if my stress level had a scale of 1 to 10, it probably started off as a 2. Police officer was giving me a hard time because she thought I stole the car, my own car. It's probably like a 4 at this time. Car got stolen again. Probably at a 5. This is when it moved from 5 to 7, right? The car's moving. I'm on like trying to call the police officers. Right. Call the police officer. Hey, excuse me, my car is stolen right now. What can I do? Can you guys help me? She says, where's the car at? It's driving. I said, all right, I'll dispatch an officer to where you're at. Guess who the officer was?
The same lady?
The same lady. Same lady, bro. Same lady, and she was already giving me a hard time. She went off on me. Why would you talk to me crazy? I'm supposed to be the victim, and she talking to me like I just did something like heinous. Right. Anyways, I'm not going to tell you how I responded to her because it wasn't gracious. But long story short was, they end up telling me that they can't do nothing about a car that's stolen that's in a different district, right? That's why they say zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 in Atlanta. They have zones that they take care of, like Fulton. They only can do things that so the car is in Savannah, only those officers in Savannah can help.
Right.
So I'm seeing where the car is. So I call whatever area, I forgot what city it was in, and they tell me that they're gonna check on it to see and try to see if they see the car. Right. Long story short, I said I was still scared that I was gonna get the car back. So I got in the car. Dion's like, let's go. No, we took an Uber. We didn't have no car.
Right.
We took an Uber. We're in an Uber truck. We're both in the back seat, and we're tracking the car. I said, yo, call OnStar to tell them to shut the car off. I forgot we got OnStar on there. Right. We call OnStar. They say, yeah, we can't shut the car off while it's moving. I said,
makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But what happens if the car stops? Can you shut it off? You said we still can't shut it off because we need a police report. Hey, what? You need a police report first before we can shut the car off? And after he explained to me, I understood why, the logic behind it, but I wasn't trying to hear all that.
Right.
I need my car shut off and shut it off.
Is...
Now stress level went 6, 7, 8. I'm like, oh yeah, this car is about to be gone. I just got this car. Super Bowl's coming up. I don't even know if insurance's gonna cover it. I just put it, I don't know. Thankfully, right, I checked the app. I'm checking the app every 3 minutes because we're telling the Uber driver to follow, go this way. Like, it's like a movie. Go straight, go straight, go straight. Bust the right. It was crazy. Then I come to find out my tracker had a 5-minute delay on it. I'm like, oh my God. What's going on? Then we check the app. We don't see the car moving anymore. Like, good, they stopped it. Call OnStar. All right, we found out the person who stole the car, stop car, can you shut it off? No, we still need a police report. I was like, please, just please for me, just shut the car off, please, right? He says, sorry, we don't even have connection with the car. You know what he told me? He says the tracker has been compromised. I'll never forget those words.
Wow.
He used the word compromised, meaning they took the dang tracker out the car. Come to find out, this is not a guide to how to steal a 2016 Corvette.
It's definitely the tutorial.
But the tracker in this specific model for OnStar is in the mirror.
Right.
Yeah. So all he did was pull that thing off, and that was it. It was disconnected. OnStar. You know how we press the OnStar button? He took that thing off, and that's how he got the car. Right.
Wow.
So I was scared throughout the process, but then it got so point where I had to get out the Uber. I said it was so sad. I'm like, all right, man, we lost the car. Dion, you can just go back home. That was the tone of it.
Right.
Like we didn't win this battle. We lost, man. I'll figure it out, man. You need any more help? No, man, just go home. It was like that. I went in, I got to my other car, got home, rolled up the window and screamed at the top of my lungs.
Really?
That's how stressful it was. Never mind. I sat back, I reclined and screamed.
I don't even see it coming from you.
Bro, that's the crazy thing about it. Yeah. That's not me.
Yeah.
It got so stressful, I screamed in the top of my lungs. But then I got reminded, one of my key grounding statements is, what's God's will in this? That's what saved me. What's God's will in this? And because of my faith, I know that everything I do in my life, God has me set up for a win. Yeah. So whether this is an L or not, it's still a setup for the win. So if I endure till the end of the process, I'll get to see that dub.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I saw that dub. But the question is, how did I end up seeing it? This is how, right? Car stolen. I was like, okay, let me file in a claim for a stolen car on my insurance. They'll pay me out. Cool. That's what insurance is for. So I call my insurance. They say, okay, file a report. We need a police report. So I got the police report, and they tell me after 20 days of your car still not coming up, and if it's still missing, then we'll pay it out. So I gotta wait 20 days.
Goodness gracious.
Right? Mind you, I got that car in anticipation of Super Bowl weekend. I missed out on $3,000. So that car that usually gets rented out for
just for the weekend.
Yeah, it's just a weekend. That car usually goes out for $400, $500, but on Super Bowl weekend, $1,000 a day. Easy. Just for one car, right?
So that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh my God, I took an L. Luckily, I had my Airbnb. I had one Airbnb unit that made $7,000, $3,500 a day. Somebody booked it for 2 days. But anyways, and for me, it's not about the money. Anyway, back to the process. The process was this: they said 20 days. If the car doesn't show up, we'll pay you the cash value of the car. So even though I paid $46,000, the car they estimated the car to be worth $39,000.
Gap insurance.
I canceled it 2 weeks before. I got Gap when I initially signed the documents, right? The dude sold me on it, and I needed it. I was like, man, why am I paying?
Take this L. Take this L.
Why am I paying Gap insurance? Man, I don't need no Gap. I called him and canceled it Come to find out, I absolutely need it because I have to pay the difference. Gap insurance, as you know, pays the difference between how much you pay for the car and how much the value is. In case you lose the car, or somebody gets in an accident, or somebody steals it. In my case, I took that L.
I'm so excited that you went through this, because me going through this journey, it's like you took all the losses.
Yeah. I was the first penguin. I set the pathway for everybody else. It's safe now, y'all. It's safe. This is the road we gonna take.
Right.
That's actually what happened. So now that's the car situation with the insurance. But now I still want to find out who stole my car. All right. Luckily, Dion, he said, "Yo, it was parked at an apartment. Why don't you check the cameras?" So Dion actually went to the apartment and asked, "Hey, can we check the cameras for this date? Our car was stolen. We want to see who it is." Right? So they told Dion, like, look, we can't give you no cameras. You need a police officer to come here. Right? And I was like, why can't we just get the cameras? Street justice, that's why. There's people out here that we try to do street justice. Find out who it is, they try to take care of themselves. So it has to be in proper hands. Police officer. So cool. We sent the detective there. He pulled the tapes, sent me an image, a still image of the dude who took it. Dummy parked it under the camera. Got a picture of him. Now I know who it is. But I don't know who it is. So since I don't know who it is, but I see who it is, I posted on my Instagram, the power of social media. I posted on my social media. I said, does anybody know who this is? I only had to keep that post up for 5 minutes on my Instagram stories. Why? Because somebody DM'd me. Actually, 2 people DM'd me. Shout out to Sean and Trey. I got screenshots of their message. Trey hit me up and said, yo, Matt, I know exactly who that is.
Wow.
He went to my school. I know his first name, his last name, and matter of fact, I don't even like that dude. Second dude, Sean, who I put on, who now has I think he posted his Lamborghini. Anyways, Sean, he lives at Atlantic. He said, yo, I know exactly who that is. I said, yo, I found out who it is already. His name is Miles, but is this the same? Is this Miles? Yep, that's Miles. That helped me to have the confidence. And I had the 100% confidence who it was because they gave me his Instagram page. I went to his Instagram page and he was wearing the same exact outfit on his story when he was in
Hilarious.
Bruh. Only God can set this situation up. So, this is the crazy part. I'm excited now that I know who it is. I see his page. The dude's always posting actively. So I see what he's doing. I tell the detective, yo, detective, I forgot something. He was, I think a Russian last name. Anyways, I told him, I did your job for you. I found out who it is. You know what I'm saying? His name is Miles. I got his name. I got his Instagram page. What we gonna do? He says, okay, cool, that's a good job. But I didn't want him to think that I was in on it. When it comes to insurance claims, I found out when a car is stolen, you know who the #1 suspect is? You.
Wow.
So the way he was talking to me, he was like, he was talking to me back and responding as if I'm the one who stole it. I called my boy Miles to steal the car from me.
Right.
But why would I be reporting them now?
And then I'm snitching on the boy.
Why would I snitch on the dude? So I was like, look, we found who it is. I have a large following, so that's how I found him. I posted him on my Instagram. He said, okay, cool, I'll verify it. A couple days later, he calls me. He says, "Yep, it was him because the car that he left in after dropping the car off is he drove his mom's car. They checked the license plate. I'm like, oh, that's good detective work. I like it. I like the style.
I like what y'all
so we know who it is, right? Oh, now he said I put a warrant out for his arrest. Cool. I'm just waiting. It should be easy to find him because he's always posting what clubs he's in. He's taking pictures with Young Thug. He's on there, right? So he's taking pictures with these influencers, a bunch in front of all these cars. I'm like, dang, why is he stealing cars if he's in front of all these cars? I come to realize, of course, when you're entourage, you're not the one owning these cars. You're just around. Cool, I get how that works. But here's the thing. A couple weeks passed, I follow up with the detective. I said, did you guys find him yet? What's going on? He said, man, to be honest with you, Grand Theft Auto is on the low end of our priorities right now.
Really?
Right, so I have to humble myself. He told me about sex trafficking, which is really, really huge in Atlanta. That's our priority. Domestic violence, murder cases. Those are our priorities.
In the grand scheme of things, like, I mean, it sucks for you.
It sucks for me, but he said that's what the insurance for. He gave me that shrug, like.
And what do you say to that? Like,
I literally humble myself. I said,
okay,
that's fair. I'm not selfish. I'm not evil. And again, this is God's will in this. That's my grounding foundation. Is God's will. So I'm not going to be sitting here and complain through the process and then get happy at the end. No, smile it through. So I realized that, of course, that was the situation. But my wife, she gets a call, 5 a.m., middle of the night, literally, top of the morning, actually. The officer calls as, we found your vehicle, and the person in the car, we arrested them. Okay, what's his name? It wasn't Miles, somebody else. So he either sold the car to somebody or gave it to somebody, whatever the case may be. Somebody else had the car and got arrested for receiving stolen property. I said, cool. Mind you, I already got 20 days already passed.
Right.
Insurance already paid me out. So the insurance now owes the car.
Right.
So I don't get to keep the money from the insurance and get the car. Yeah. The car is now theirs. So I was like, okay, where's Miles at? We don't know. I found Miles. God found Miles for me. You know how I found him?
How?
Dion sent me a text message. Chief Dion sent me a text message and said, Brother Matthew, check your group me text messages right now. Right?
From the church?
From our church. So we have a church group me where all the interaction, new members, all these different conversations and communication happens on our group me. And because I have a leadership role, I get to see what's happening on the other branches of our churches. Right? So Dion says, yo, check your group me right now. I check my group me. I see a new baptism.
It can't be Miles. It can't be Miles, yo.
My boy Miles baptized in our church. Our church.
Wow.
My heart is racing. This is real life. You can't make this up. I'm looking at my heart. I was literally in bed like this. I got up. My heart was moving, bumping. Like, what the heck is going on here? The dude who stole my car is now smiling in a baptism picture at my church.
Wow.
We're in the Bible Belt. There's a church on every corner.
Right.
Out of all the churches in the world, he got baptized in our church.
You couldn't write this in a script.
Bro, it's like a movie.
Yeah.
So I immediately called my missionary. I said, Missionary Justin, you won't believe this. The gentleman that you just baptized was the one who stole my car. And I told Missionary Justin about the situation. So he knew. So I just put 2 and 2 together. I said, the red Corvette that got stolen, guess what? The dude you just baptized, he was the one who stole it.
Wow.
He said, no. I said, yes, it's him. He hung up. He said, all right, cool. Before he hung up, he said, I'm going to ask Pastor to see what he wants to do about the situation. Pastor let him know. Well, just let him go. When he comes back, let him know that he has 2 options. Option 1, you turn yourself in. Option 2, you're no longer a member of the church. So some people might be saying, oh, cool, that's an easy decision to sort a car thief. Just don't come up to the church no more.
Right.
He actually stayed. He got baptized for a reason.
Amen.
He wanted to I don't know what the details were, but he wanted to change his life or something, right? So he stayed. He broke down crying when my missionary, the next third day, which was a Tuesday, he told him, after service, he said, can I have a seat with you real quick? I want to tell you something. So we know that you have a warrant out for your arrest right now for Grand Theft Auto. And the reason why we know is because the car that you stole is a member of this church.
Wow.
He broke down, started crying. I heard the story. But somebody might be saying, wait, what? How did he end up in this church? This was it. One of the members of our church, I'm not going to say any names, but she's a member of our church. I know her. And I'm trying to explain this situation without dropping names. But anyways, long story short, his fiance is a member of our church.
Gotcha.
That's how he ended up being baptized in our church.
Wow.
But I realized at the end of the day, this was always, since the beginning, God's will. This was God's will to test me, my endurance, whether I'll still give glory to God, whether I'll complain, whether I'll quit, whether I'll do anything negative to see if I really want to be in this business. Now, I feel like I passed the test by going through the process, and I got to see the dub. But what was the dub? After the Corvette got paid off, my credit score shot up. Crazy, right? That allowed me to go back to the dealership and get another car. But I didn't just get another car. I got 33 more cars. 33 more cars.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, all right, we're going to back that up. So your score shoots up. How do you get
Now I know the play.
Okay, and how, like what time period was this? You got
within
33
2
more
weeks. Now I know the play. I can share the game.
Please,
you know
please.
All right, so this is what happened. People go crazy with this. I already know. So I already have experience with the dealership because of my first 3 cars. I know how the process works, dealing with the finance manager, the sales manager, the bank lenders. I know the process now, so I understand it. And I also understand that the credit report only shows what's active. It doesn't show any new inquiries. It doesn't show new trade lines until 30 days, right? So I go into these dealerships now, and I tell the salesperson, yo, I'm interested in the car after doing research. I'm interested in this car, but when you run my report, I don't want you to send my credit report to all these different banks. If I go to Mercedes, I'm telling them to send my credit report only to Mercedes. they'll see this amazing report and like, oh yeah, he's good for the car, we'll give him the car. But then I'll go to Chevrolet. I go to Chevrolet, give them that same amazing credit report, which doesn't show that I just bought a car. I give it the same process, but send my credit report to GMC. I go to a buy and pay here. I went to all these different dealerships that got multiple cars, knowing that the more cars I have, the more cash flow I'll be able to have, as long as I can manage it.
And they don't. So when you get your credit ran, you go to the dealership, they run your credit. They see, whatever you have on your credit right then.
That's all they see.
Even if you bought a car that day, when you go to another lot, they only see. They don't see the car you just bought. No. And it doesn't upload for 30 days.
So I leverage that.
Shake your hand. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Okay. You are a genius. You're a genius.
It's opportunity happen like that. So I literally went from four cars? 4 cars to 3 to 33. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Off of understanding the leverage of having good credit. For me, credit is credibility. I had good credibility, good payments on time, good consistent income, good debt to income ratio, stable household, meaning I'm not moving around all the time. All the things that a lender is looking for to say, we trust this person with the money, and because he needs his money up front, we'll just tax him with this little interest rate, right? I wasn't worried about the interest rate because, again, I'll use this money not as a liability, but as an asset. It's going to bring income from it.
What's the highest interest rate you've paid?
Ever?
Ever.
It was actually 18%.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, this was at a buy here, pay here. This wasn't a rental car. This was a donation for church. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the cars I was looking for, our church was doing construction. We just got a brand new temple in Loganville, amazing. And we needed a place.
First off, this podcast is sponsored by the World Mission Society Church of God.
Crazy, no.
Come on. Don't do that.
No, but they needed a vehicle to help with the construction. So it's either I buy a cash car or buy a new car or used car. I didn't want to drop cash on up front for a truck that I wasn't going to use at all. It was just going to be a donation. And I didn't want to buy new, obviously, definitely not. So I bought used. So I had to go to a buy here, pay here to do so. Because this was after it was already on my credit. All the cars already hit. So now I can't go to get traditional car loans. Now I have to go to a buy here, pay here. And buy here, pay here, they don't care how good your credit score is. They literally even told me, yo, we've never seen such a good credit score in this building ever in our life. I was like, good, so you're gonna give me a good rate, right? I said, no.
No, that's not what we do.
That's how we make our money here.
But why couldn't you just go to another place?
Like where? I told you, I didn't want a new car.
Oh, because this is after your 30-day period.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Those are traditional lenders, so they're gonna look at all these cars and say no.
Yeah.
My only hope was a buy here, pay here. They don't care how many cars you got.
Gotcha.
That's why it's higher risk, and that's why it's 18%.
See, I put down. So I went to the lot.
Crazy.
And they wanted to give 10% to my wife because I'm in the midst of building a building, and I just don't want anything on my credit right now. So I put it on hers, and they wanted to charge her 10% because we was like, yo, we don't want to put no money down. It was 9.99%, but then they said, well, if you put money down, it goes down to 5.99.
You know why? It's because I learned being in this business is if you put money down, they see that you have skin in the game. So if you default on the loan, the car note, right? Say the first 30 days.
Got at least 3,
Yeah. They'll at least have 3 payments in advance. And they'll actually make money off of you defaulting on the loan. Versus you putting no money down, you have no skin in the game. You left the lot with no money. Higher risk.
But you know what? And as I think about it, I should have probably just took the 10% because it was really only a difference of like an extra $100 a month. So think about it. I think it was like $150 a month between 6% and 10%.
That's a lot though when it comes to cash flow.
It is, but so I take the car, I get to keep my $3,000 cash, meaning over. It takes 20 months for me to recoup that. You feel me? And if I just had it on Turo,
that's a fact.
I make money.
Especially if you're using it for assets, you can use that $3,000 somewhere else, and make the money with that.
I didn't think about it till right now. Thank you.
Me too.
I'm gonna keep shaking your hand.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So that's the strategy. First off, we just got the car, so I'm literally. At first, I told her like, honey, we're gonna do maybe like 2 more cars, but I feel like
you go crazy. Once you go to play,
I'm not gonna go 33.
Don't go crazy.
I get 4 or 5. Actually, Sister Erica, please just text her real quick and say
it might have worked.
We've made a decision all together. Okay, just let her know.
That's funny.
All right, so it's this is really a dope strategy because if you are gonna invest in a real estate property,
Oh my
you got to
goodness.
put down 20% of 100,000. You got to put down 20
Just
grand.
the cash flow 600.
Just to make $400 or $500 a month.
Not to knock it. All my boys in real estate, all my mentors in real estate. This is not knocking it at all, but
I guess on that side, actually the property does appreciate and the car depreciates.
And it's a tax play. A lot of people with all this income, they need to figure out what to do with this money. So you're not gonna buy a million cars with all that money that you got saved. You gotta buy a $300 house or 400. That's where you can put the money.
Wow. All right. So, dang, this is crazy. So literally anybody can get into this game.
Anybody. You don't got to do luxury cars like I did. I literally have 41 cars, and by the end of the month it'll be 43 because I'm getting the new C8 Corvette and this Bentley. So in this situation now, hold on. There we go. So in this situation now, as far as what was I saying?
Well, anybody can get in the game.
Anybody. So you don't got to do luxury cars.
And I was actually watching a YouTube video. It was a guy, he did a whole video on, he's like, yo, I get Toyotas. He said, I get Kias. You know what I'm saying?
There's different types of cars in the rental space. There's the economy cars, standard cars, like the Hyundai Sonatas, the Priuses, Toyota Camrys, Corollas. Those really do well. Then there's the classic cars. You could do a Thunderbird, Firebird, because people are renting those cars for video shoots, photo shoots. There's luxury cars. So the luxury cars have different levels. There's the low-end luxury, middle, and high. Low-end is like the C300. You can get a C300 for $20,000, like base model.
Yeah.
Right? Then there's a $50,000 luxury cars, like the the CLSs or the C300 coupes, right? That fall in the $50,000 range. And then there's the higher class luxury, and there's the super high end. So higher class is probably 70,000, 80,000 cars. But then when you get an 100K plus, that's the high-end luxury, super high-end luxury. And then there's the supercars. Yeah. So high-end luxury is the Lambos, the Rolls-Royce race, the 100K plus, 250,000, and then there's supercars.
Gotcha.
What's that? $1 million car.
I wouldn't know. I don't know nothing about it.
Anyways, somebody
car $1 million?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
What's that car, Carl?
I just know the ones from the rap videos, Maybachs and Rose.
Anyways,
and the race.
Y'all know in the
stuff.
comments, somebody gonna be like, man, you dummy. Somebody said that. Anyways, the whole point is there's different entries of the rental space. Anything that has wheels can be turned into an asset-making deal. But the thing is, most people's cars, they're just sitting there. Or they're just using the car just to get to work. But what's happening when you get to work? It's just sitting there again.
Right.
When you get home, it's just sitting there overnight. It's just sitting. So instead of just allowing your car to sit, you actually have the option to join in the peer-to-peer sharing marketplace. That's how Airbnb took it to the next level.
What's it called? Aston Martin.
No.
Aston's
$1 million car? The one that T-Pain had.
I don't know. That's just what you do.
Everybody knows what the car is. So Floyd got one too. He was in Vegas rocking.
Right. So
it started with B. Anyway.
It's gonna bother you, but
it's gonna kill me.
So
come on, man.
So she tried. All right. So there are some people you can, and I was watching a YouTube video. The guy, he gets like $10,000 cars, and he rents them joints.
Yes.
So you can get.
Okay, I'll tell you the plane.
Yeah.
Bugatti. How do you know what a Bugatti is? Anyways, so the Hyundai Sonatas. There's a platform called Hire Car. This is a play. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't even know about this when I first started.
Hire Car.
Hirecar.com. You can literally rent out your economy standard car on this platform to Uber drivers.
You recommend we do it?
Huh?
Oh, to Uber drivers?
Yes.
My boy drives Uber and okay.
Yeah, so if they don't have their own car, how are they gonna drive Uber? They can rent it from somebody, use that car to make them more money. That's how it works. So these Uber drivers are paying anywhere from
I need a mix of like the high end, middle,
that's how
I can blend
wanted
it.
a mix. But if because somebody's gonna say, well, how can I get in the game? I don't have good credit. I don't have the cash. Well, you can leverage other people's credit, one, or you can buy cars, cash, which are, I'm not even gonna play that play, but you can buy cash, a $2,000, $3,000 car. What car can you get for $3,000? A smart car.
What were you about to say?
All right, so I was gonna say,
every strategy, bro.
Somebody who has, I don't like teaching it without walking people through it so they can do it the right way. So if you have a credit card that has a $5,000, $10,000 balance, you can buy the car with your credit card. Right. Most people use the credit card for consumer reasons. Yeah. Right? And they use it on groceries, which is not gonna bring you money back. They use it on bills. They're not gonna get
furniture, weird stuff.
Right. Allow your car that you got with your credit to pay for those things. Don't pay with your credit card. That's the bar.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Trust, leverage the debt. My boy Hip 500, he talks about that. Neo, all the people, Mark, everybody in our crew. That's the play we're on.
Got it.
2 weeks. Everybody is on that play. Alex, who else? I'm gonna make sure everybody gets their money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody.
All right. So what do you recommend people start out with? Because I mean, somebody if they don't really know the game, how do you recommend they start with 2-3 cars or?
So I got programmed the car rental game program. So in the program, there's a section called choosing your lane.
Can we put the course below? Just people can click it.
Right, that got it. So it's called choosing your lane because everybody's situation is different, right? Your motivations or your intention of why you even want to get in the business might be way different from somebody else. Some people get in this game because they want to drive their dream car for free. Some people, they don't want to pay their car note no more. Some people want to get in this game because they want an extra $200 cash flow. Some people, because whatever reason, everybody has a different motivation and intention. Therefore, there's different lanes to pick from. So what I did was I created a formula to first identify what your intentions are, how you want to operate the business. Do you want to be hands-on, hands-off? Do you want to just be in Atlanta? Or do you want to be in this? Like, it all depends on answering all those questions first. Once I get the base of how you want to operate, and then I'll recommend what type of car to get or how many cars to get.
Gotcha.
So typically, if I was just to give a general answer though, I'll start off with 1.
Right.
That's what I did. Start off with 1. Like, dang, this is making sense.
Get a feel for the vibe.
This is working. I rock with this. Because if I didn't rock with it, why would I get 2? That means it'll be double the burden.
Yeah.
Triple the burden. If it doesn't fit my lifestyle, right? Or it doesn't fit my circumstance or scenario. Gotcha. So if anybody generally wants to start, it's always with 1. And the one with the lowest risk, obviously, is a cash car that you can buy for $4,000, like a smart car.
Yeah.
I ran the bag with my smart car. I bought my smart car for $5,000, cash, got the title, put it on Turo for $50 a day. I was making, what, $250 a week off of that car? My car note was only like $130 something.
Wow.
When I got my second
car
one.
note $130, making about $1,000 a month.
Yeah. So I had about three smart cars. First one was cash. So no car note. But then when I started realizing it was working, I got other cars, financed it. Car note was basically nothing. Yeah. Anyways, from $80 to $150.
Here's what I don't understand. Why don't, and I'm in the game and I feel like somebody is listening and they're asking themselves this question right now. Why don't people just get a rental car from a rental car place? Why is Turo becoming so popular?
The car, for example, I'm a perfect case study.
Pull up a little bit.
Before I got my Tesla, I was Uber everywhere. Mr. Uber everywhere. I'll pull up to meetings. Shout out to Ming Lee, Snob Life. I'll pull up to a meeting with her and I'll be in an Uber, right? I'm like justifying myself why I don't have a car. So I'm justifying, I don't need a car, I'll just take an Uber, right? But it got to a point where I end up getting late to my meetings sometimes because my lack of preparation, I'm not blaming it on Uber, myself, my lack of preparation, right? To be able to not consider the fact that, yeah, my meeting's in 30 minutes, and yeah, I might have to wait an extra 15 minutes just in case the Uber driver gets lost to get to me. Or I'm late to come down, whatever the case may be. It was the lack of convenience, right? However, after our meeting, this is what got me. After our meeting, anytime I met with Ming Lee at our office, I would have to wait for an Uber to pick me up. Outside, looking stupid.
Right, so you closing big deals.
Closing big deals, $1,000 deals with her. Right?
He sit outside the door on your phone like.
Her employees will come out. Everything all right? Is everything good? You good? You got a ride? That's what killed me.
You got a ride?
That's what killed me. And when everything good, you got a ride. I said, all right, I'm getting a car. I'm getting a car. Right. That's why I got that Tesla. Right? But what ended up happening with the situation was before even the Uber, I was renting cars. Like whenever I went to a different area of Georgia where I wasn't at home, I'll rent a car from Hertz. Me and my wife will get a car. We'll get it for a month. So it'll cost $800 to $1,300. We'll get the nicest car they have. Whether it's a new Charger or sometimes a C300. Six has good luxury cars that you can rent out. But it got to a point where, one, I was paying too much. I did the math. In my course, I actually screenshot how much money I was paying.
So the rental car place is more expensive than Turo?
Yeah, because I was doing it long term. Yeah, gotcha. It's more expensive, way more expensive.
What? But day to day comparison.
Day to day, you're paying more. You can drop and you remember the type of car, the options. Turo has options from low end to high end cars that you can rent.
Right.
Hertz, Enterprise, Budget, 6, they have a limited budget.
Yeah, gotcha.
They have a limited type of cars that you can get. And sometimes you don't even know where your car you're going to get. You book a car, they say, yep, that's your car right there.
Right.
They literally categorize it based off of compact, sedan, and they just find out when you get there.
Right.
Turo, you get to choose the car, no hidden fees, everything is clear as day. So that was the benefit. So with me, I was driving this is how it happened. Justin, new ACO. I got a rental car. I'm like, man, I don't care what car it is. I got a little small Ford, like the small little, I think it was a Forte, I don't know what it's called. A small car. Right. I had a meeting with Justin Owens, new ACO. I went to Target to go drop, we parked in Target. I went to the car. He hopped in his car. What car? It was S550. I hopped in my little small Ford. He clowned the heck out of me.
Because y'all about the same height too.
And he knows how much money I make.
Right.
He knows what I can afford. He was clowning me like, bro, why are you in that car?
Right.
Like, why does it matter?
Right.
We just need to get to point A, point B. Nobody cares. Everybody knows I got it. Why does it matter? But he said, he grilled me so much. On my whole ride home, I was like, man, I'm about to get another car. I'm tired of this, driving this. I'm tired of having to explain myself. That's how I ended up getting the Tesla. So that's the question. Why would somebody not just rent a car from Hertz or Budget or a traditional rental car company versus Turo? Because you have more options for nicer cars.
Gotcha. What about credit checks and credit cards? I know you sometimes, there was a point in my life where you say, okay, I'm gonna get a rental car, but you never know what they're gonna ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
My heart always.
You don't know if you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
They need credit card.
Yeah. So with Turo, you don't need to have a credit card. That's another benefit of it. Or the platforms like Turo, even a personal booking. All depends on how somebody wants to run their business. But usually with a traditional, you have to be a certain age. You have to put down a certain deposit, certain credit. What else do they need? Sometimes you have to have a flight ticket to prove that you're not a local.
True.
Like there's certain, of course they do it to protect their business. I understand, but some people don't have those options, so they need other options to be able to get a car to rent out.
Gotcha. So they really Turo. They'll let anybody who has a driver's license.
Of course they go do background checks. Of course there's a vetting process. Of course all that, and of course the car's insured, but it's not as difficult as the traditional rental car.
Gotcha. And you can just find what you like something nice. Gotcha.
That's the key piece.
Gotcha.
It's options. I got better options.
So income potential. Walk me through income potential.
Income potential. Depending on what car you have, it always falls around anywhere. Cash flowing. This is net profit. Cash flowing anywhere from $300 a month to even upwards of what I was making, $3,000 per car. My Corvette was averaging $1,600. My Tesla was averaging $2,600. Profit. This is literally profit. My C300, it didn't perform as well. It was probably in the $800 range. So, but me, I have my receipts, so I show people.
Cash flow.
Cash flow. So you then compare your cash flow to the amount of time that it takes to manage the operation. So with me, I did it all by myself. I then hired one of my brothers at church to help me out with the check-ins and checkouts. But it wasn't labor intensive. I was still able to do my real business, my marketing agency. I was still able to do the things I really enjoy, going to church, hosting Bible studies, while managing these 3 cars. Yeah. And I realized that the cars that I had leveraged the marketing deals that I was actually closing. And I told people, I own a car rental company, small fleet, 3 cars. I got a Corvette, Maserati, C300. They were so amazed at the fact that I was in this business that they weren't even thinking about the marketing no more. They was just signing the deal. Tell me about the Corvette. Tell me about that story that you told me. Right. How do I get in this? It was amazing leverage.
Where do you keep all these cars?
All right. This is crazy. That's a good question. So initially, remember where I was keeping my cars? Target.
Yes.
Once I went from 3 and I turned up, I was parking the cars. I was trying to park the cars at Target. The Target general manager called me and said, "This is Matthew. Are you the one who has all these cars on my lot?" He said, "Yeah, you got to move them."
You're ODing right now.
I did the most. I forced
You're ODing right now.
I was getting away with the 3 cars, but as soon as I tried to bring them all there, then now I was like, all right, I'll move them. Can you give me like a week to figure it out? He said, he was cool. He was super cool. Cool, I'll give you a week. I think it was during a big weekend where they definitely need the space. And now my cars are a big attraction. Everybody was taking pictures. You can see on the cameras. They showed me. Everybody was going around the cars, taking pictures near the cars, all that crazy stuff. So I had to figure it out. I had to move all my cars to my apartment, one of my other apartments in Norcross. I got a picture of it. All my cars lined up in all the parking spaces. I got away with it for 2 weeks until they called me and said, you got to move these cars. Right. By God's grace, as I was posting, every time I got a new car, I posted on my Instagram, like, look, I got another car. This is the keys. This is what it looking like. Da, 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 da. My boy Jacoby, again, the one who told me about relay rides, which was Turo at the time.
Right.
He said, yo, I know a dude who has a parking lot at the airport. Here's his number. Check him out. His name is Kareem. So I called him, went, checked the spot out. It looked like a full rental car company.
Right.
But it was empty. It was next to Enterprise, next to Hertz, next to a car rental company, car van company that rents out vans, and Peachy airport parking. When you go to the airport, you can park your car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's where I park all the time.
It was right there. I was like, yo, what can we do to do the deal? He told me, well, I got the spot for my own car rental company, but I'm not doing it right now. So you can rent each space for $100 a car. I said, run it. So I'm paying $4,000 a month to have it. What about the office space? Can I get it? I'm not using it right now. You can use it. Cool, I'm using it. Oh, wow. Long story short, he ended up not being on. I basically took over the whole thing, renovated it, put the sign up, got a whole car rental lot, my own car rental lot in Atlanta, Georgia, at the airport.
Wow.
So when I have on my listing on Turo, and now it says pickup address airport. But what's crazy is it's 2 minutes away from the airport. However, I still was charged a delivery fee. So anybody who needed a car at the airport, I was like $120.
Brother Joshua was telling me he was like, yo, he was telling me that his delivery fee was $50. So he'll drive
there and back or just one way.
He said his delivery fee is $50. He goes deliver for $50. Yeah. But then I looked on yours and I saw it was $120.
Yes, $120. So
I'm gonna call Joshua today, like, yo, you know, Matty charged $120 for delivery. That's our brother.
He got 2 Porsches on there because
he got 5 cars altogether.
Yeah, and he started getting cars. Like, bro, you ain't tell me you joined a Turo. I know you was asking me all these questions, but where did these cars come from?
Right. Yeah, brother Davey,
my brother Davey, brother Ed. Like a lot of the people that see me, they now understand the process. It just makes sense.
Yeah. First off, I feel some type of way because I was the first to know.
So you were the first to know. Last to take action. That's legit what happened. But that's legit what happened. Yo. I told you first, like, bro, you gotta know about what I'm doing right now.
It didn't make sense to me.
I saw from your face, the way you looked at me, I'm like, oh, he just don't get it.
Thanks to God for
but
clarity.
Now it flourishes. And there's a time for everything.
We out here. So literally, I just got a Range Rover 2017.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna go grab probably 3 more this week.
Right. And the cars don't need to be new.
So so somebody that doesn't have a lot and doesn't have a Target next to them, where do they keep the car? Where do they keep the car?
Based on my students, they tell me that they park it at their homes. Some people are not comfortable with that. They'll deliver it whenever they get a new booking. They'll meet them at Publix. They'll park it somewhere, even on the street, incognito. So depending on what type of car you have. If you have a regular car, you can just park it in a regular spot, right? But if you have a luxury car, it's like it sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah. So depending on what type of car you have, depending on what area you live in, you just gotta figure it out. It's not difficult. You just gotta figure it out. A lot of people harp on all the details though in the beginning before they start. I didn't do that. I literally said, I have a car already. Let me see what it's gonna do. I uploaded it, instant booking, same day booking. Now I'm forced to figure it out. All right. Yes, I took an L as far as the money wise, but I got it back.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I made $2,600 profit off of one car.
And in your course, you teach how to not take these L's?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I took an L with my Maserati. Shane, that's my guy, but he didn't tell me how to what it called? Look at the car properly. The car I'm purchasing, I didn't know the Maserati that I bought, all the tires were bald in the inside. I'm outside, it's perfect, good tires. I was driving, tire got flat. I went to Firestone. I pulled in Firestone. The dude pulled out the tire and said, look at this tire, man. Show me how bald and naked that tire was.
Wow.
He said, you would drive. Yeah, I just got the car. He said, this is the most horrible tire. Matter of fact, look at the rotors. You need new rotors. Went to the back. This one needs a new one. I'm thinking he's just lying to me because this is my first time in the car industry, really. So I'm like, I know mechanics. They're known for being, you know what I'm saying, finessers.
Right.
Hey, man, you lying right now. He said, but he had no reason to lie. Firestone, he wasn't that type of person. It's
not a commission type joint.
Yeah, it's not his own shop. He's like, I'm here to do my hourly, whatever the case may be. Right? So he told me that you see these ridges on these rotors? These are not supposed to be here.
Right.
You see how rough this one is? You hear that? That ain't supposed to be there. Like, you hear that? Nobody told me that. So I called Maserati. All right, cool. I'm just buy the parts. How much for a new rotors? on how many tires you do? I need all 4. $2,800.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you just find a place to keep your cars, and you just kind of keep rolling. You know what Joshua uses too? The park and ride airport joint.
Which one?
So when I go out of town, I actually go to Peachy. I go in.
That's all I was using.
It's $750 a day.
Yes.
And he said, yo, he'll just go down there, you pay the $750, leave, they go pick it up.
That's what I was doing before I got my lot. And what's crazy, I was paying all this money to Peachy this whole time, not knowing that the lot that I was soon to have was right next to it.
Next door.
Here's the clutch play. So Peachy, they use a third party called Way, W-A-Y. And I was paying half the price that Peachy charges.
On Way.
On Way.
Yo, they be having joints for $2,
That's what I was paying. $2, because this was before I knew about the airport drop. I'm like, I'm not going to be paying $36 for these parking tickets no more. Yeah. I'm going to drop the car off at the airport, parking lot, Peachy, pay $2, and then charge the guests for the $2. You know what I'm saying? And then, so the beautiful thing is, they'll pick the car up from Peachy, going about their way to travel. When they drop the car off at Peachy, they can take the Peachy shuttle back to the airport. Smooth process.
Perfect.
Smooth process.
And
if I have to pick up the car, or one of my team members have to pick up the car, right? They'll take the train, because Atlantic Station, there's a train that goes straight to the airport. So they don't have to worry about driving, getting caught in traffic. Yeah. It was a smooth ride to the airport, pick the car up, and move on from there.
So and it's so crazy because you've been doing this for
only 2 years.
2 years.
We're going crazy.
And you just now put out your course. And
that's a fact.
Yo, I don't know how many courses you sold over like the first release, right?
People
it's ridiculous.
Knocking on my door for this.
Yeah, because people been asking you for 2 years. Yo, put me on.
Yes, I've been sharing it.
Yeah, and I
for
saw,
free.
Right.
But you know, my boys, they was like, bro, drop the course, package this material, and drop in a course form. So I ain't gonna lie, him 500 Marcus, he was on my neck. Neo on my neck about dropping a course. Calling me, bro, you gotta drop a course. You know how he talks? Right. You gotta drop the course. Or we're gonna do it. I'm like, chill out. What you mean you're gonna drop the Turo? All right, I'll drop it next week.
Right.
So I posted my Instagram, like, yo, everybody, I'm dropping this course. Here's the date. I didn't even build it out yet. I knew setting a date is gonna force me to do it. Because I'm so used to giving out the game for free, enjoying the responses, that I didn't feel right charging for it. Yeah. Right? But that I got a bar with that where if I don't charge, you know how Neo to be talking to. If I don't charge, they're not gonna put it into action. They're not gonna respect it. You already know how that works too. So I said, cool. I'm gonna charge. You see, I'm gonna test out the price. I charge $12.99. As soon as I put on my Instagram stories, I'm launching the course. I'm doing pre-sales. Cash App me. I got
Cash App.
Cash App went crazy. Man, look at my Cash App right. Where my phone at? Let me see. Cash App right now.
Cash App. It wasn't a link. It wasn't no credit card.
And they trust me. Most people are like, man,
that's a fact. That's a fact. And I believe because you built and you know, for those that know you, like you are a very credible person, very honest. Like it's not. We know that like money ain't your biggest thing. Yeah. You feel me? So when you put out something, they like, yo, I'm here for it. I rock with it. That's a fact.
That's what happened, man. I got instant feedback. I didn't know that people were willing to pay for this information, but I had to stop devaluing this information. This information, if I had it, I would have saved that $2,800. Yeah. I would have saved all the money I lost in the beginning stages to the point where I now just, yo, here's the course information. If you need to know, I have it all documented here.
So what's in the course? Talk to me about what's in the course. The whole process.
How to buy a vehicle. The best way how to not get finessed by the salespeople. Anytime somebody goes to the dealership, you think you're going to be there for an hour? How long do most people be in a dealership for?
Forever.
4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. And they beat your brain until you feel like you would just want to die. So that's when they get you in the finance room and they have you sign in all these. Oh, you need warranty? It's just gonna be an extra $20 on your monthly payment. Just sign here, man. Give me the keys, man. Get them out here. It prevents that in that section. Right. I teach how to figure out what business model you want. Do you want to be an owner in this business, meaning you cash out a car or finance a car under your name, or do you want to be a broker where you're a middleman between the cars? Meaning you don't have to get the car yourself. David, his Range Rover, somebody wants a Range Rover, I'm in the middle and say, yo, you need a Range Rover? David got it for you. He charges $200 a day. You can pay him directly, and run me my $50 for letting you know about that booking. That's a broker. You're the middleman.
Yo, let me ask you this, because a guy sent me a DM. Hold on. A guy sent me I think I made a post about it, and a guy he sent me a DM about his car, and he's behind. Not behind, but he doesn't want to do the payments anymore.
Yeah, I know that situation for sure.
Is there anything? Because I want to be like really clear on it, but is there a way to help someone who just want to get out of their payments?
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody,
well, one is take the course and just enjoy it.
That's a fact. So if somebody doesn't want their payments anymore, they don't want to pay their car note, whether they're down in a situation. For example, somebody's in the Army, right? They're now getting deployed, or people on reserve. They're now leaving the country, and your car's now just sitting there.
Right.
But you still get that email saying the car note's due. That's the worst feeling in the world, paying for something that you know you ain't using.
Right.
Right? Not only that, the car is actually rotting away. Cars are meant to move. So if it's not moving, the parts are going to be real sticky, and it's not going to be working real well. So you reach out to a person like that, or a lot of people don't know they can reach out to me directly. If they knew, they would. But the other people don't know that you have a couple options. You can have one of your friends, your brothers or sisters, rent out the car for you, or you can use a rental car management company that exists to put it on Turo and have your car being used for you. But some people say, well, that's my personal car. I don't want to rent it out. And this ain't for you, because if you got an emotional attachment to cars, that's the issue in itself. In my course, I teach the mindset of why are we having emotional attachments to these cars?
Yeah.
The feeling that you get while driving the car only exists while you're driving the car.
For sure. And only for like that first year.
I got a section called buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
That's the worst. When you buy the car, I'm like, dang. You like the car the first month, second month, then you see the new version of the car next year. Not even next year, 6 months later.
Yeah.
Like, dang, that got all the features. Hey, mine don't got all that.
Especially when you first get a car, you don't eat in your car.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Now your car is so dirty that when you get a random person who want to ride with you, like, you got to let them know up front, yo, my car, I wasn't ready for you. every time. And my car dirty, don't judge me. Right. Every time, but in the beginning.
It's normally cleaner than this.
Before, hey, you want to ride with me?
Right, take your shoes off.
You smell that? That's that new car. That's that new leather smell.
Hilarious.
That's real.
All right, so who do you recommend the Turo business for?
So really, I recommend a car rental business. So you don't necessarily have to.
So not just Turo.
Just car rentals, period. There's so many platforms. There's Fetch Truck. So if you have a truck that's just sitting there doing nothing, there's a platform just for that.
Your course teaches on
every we talk about rental utilizations, meaning you don't even have to rent a car out on short-term basis like Turo. You can rent it out just for photo shoots, just for weddings, just for car shows, right? And you can develop your own customer base using social media, websites. Turo, the benefit of Turo is they provide all-inclusive platform for you to be able to not have to worry about really nothing. They provide the clients, the background check, the messaging portal, the payouts. You don't have to get your own payment processor. They provide all that. However, you do not have to use them. You can use your own platform and depending on your utilization. People book cars just for photo shoots or video shoots. And say you want to book your car. I don't want nobody driving my car. I get it. I shouldn't be using this car as just a liability. I want to make it an asset, but I still don't want people driving my car. So I'm going to just do photo shoots, video shoots. You drive the car there and nobody's driving it. They just get in, take the pictures and get out. That's a crucial model.
And you make 150, 200, 250.
I'll be double dipping. I'll do a photo shoot for 1 hour. Somebody pay me $350 for a picture of an I-8 or 2 hours. And then that same day, somebody will book it for the day. I can double dip. You can do multiple photo shoots in one day.
Wow.
It's all about the marketing. I do that with my Airbnbs too. My Airbnbs, people think that just because you have keys to a condo, is only used for overnight lodging.
Yeah.
There's a platform called Peerspace where people go. You know Peerspace.
Yeah,
People can book your spot for an event, photo shoot, meeting, and that same night you can have a check-in for Airbnb, double dip.
So you get to the bag out here, man.
Yeah, it's only through experience. I would never have known all this if I didn't actively touch people. And here's the bar, the more I share this information, the more opportunities of what I can do was shared with me. People say, oh, you know about this platform too? Dang, I didn't know about it. Somebody put me on to Fetch Truck. Somebody put me on into Hire Car. I didn't know about Hire Car, because if I did in the beginning, I probably would have bought a bunch of Hyundai Sonatas, 2018 Hyundai Sonatas for $16,000 and rented it out to a nurse or an Uber driver who needs their car and is willing to pay $400 a week. Like my Kia Stinger is a luxury economy car. It's like a high-end Kia. It's like it's dang near a sports car, but it only cost me like $23,000.
And with Uber, they keep the car. It's a long time.
Yes, that's the beautiful thing about doing business with a business, B2B, because they need this to make their income. So they're gonna be keeping it longer. So these people that are keeping their cars for 3, 4, 5 months. There's cars that I got that I haven't seen in months because they're using it out for either Uber driving or they just want their car longer. Some people might say, wait, why don't you just buy the car? Some people have cash flow gaps. They don't have a bunch of income all at one time, but they get paid every now and then.
They want a nice car, but they can't show the bank that they make this type of money.
That's another reason. They can't have no proof of income. No proof of income. Some people don't want a car in their name. Some people can't even get a car because their insurance, they can't get no insurance. They got a DUI before. They can't get any insurance. There's so many situations and circumstances people are in on why they need to rent a car. And I did research on all that, so I know who to serve. Some people say, well, I don't want to be on hire car. How can I get Uber drivers? There's a place where you can guaranteed to find Uber drivers sitting there chilling. Airport. Go to the airport and say, hey, how much you paying for this car that you got from Uber? Sometimes Uber provides cars for people and charge them directly the monthly fee. Right. So you ask them, how much they charge you? And they charge me $380 a month. I got a car that's better for you, better year, and I'm going to charge you $50 less.
I'm about to ask my boy, because he actually drives for Uber.
And ask him how much he's paying.
I didn't know.
Is he driving his own car? Because if he's driving his own car.
No, he got it from Uber.
Yeah, see, find out. And all you got to do is tell him. I got a cheaper car for you.
So if y'all can hear this.
We live?
Oh, we live.
Say less.
Yo, bro.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Real quick, you rent your car directly from Uber?
It's through. I had it so long. I'm trying to remember. I had to call you back and tell you exactly what it was. I can't.
Are you in a ride right now or something? Okay.
I'm actually getting an oil change.
So how much do you pay on the rental car, the car you got from them?
I think the normal thing is like $225 a week, but I pay like $80 a week.
How'd you do that?
Golly.
Because I know somebody that works there. I actually met somebody and got a little relationship with them. They just did something. I don't know.
How long were you paying $280 a week though?
$220 a week. It was like $220 a week. That was when I had that black car. Remember a long time ago I picked you up at Lexus? Yeah. How long were you paying for that?
Or how long did you do that?
As long as you have a car. I actually wrecked that car. And then
Yo, listen, I was in there, but how long did you have the car though?
I had that car for like I think about 4 months or something.
Paying $220 a week. So quick, $880 a month. Okay.
How much you think that car note was? The actual car note was?
That car note had to be nothing.
200.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
What are you saying? You saying like I was getting screwed?
No. I'm just about to get a car and put it on Turo and rent it out to Turo drivers.
Gotcha. But the difference is the Turo drivers, they're just going to ride around in the car.
Not Turo. I mean Uber. My bad. Uber.
Oh, Uber drivers.
Oh, that's Aaron?
I don't say his name.
Mr. Let Go in the building.
So you're gonna say his name.
All right, edit it out.
All right, so so I'm about to get a car and put it on
hire car.
Put it on hire car. So for Uber drivers to drive. You know a lot of drivers that do that, right?
Do what?
That rent cars from Uber and these other places to drive.
Nah, I don't know nobody.
How'd you know? How'd you get it?
How I get what?
How'd you get your car to drive for rental on Uber?
Uber?
They have the service.
It's a little advertisement thing, and it's like 3 different companies that you can work with.
Yeah.
And then,
they plug you in.
Then you just hit that company, but I don't remember exactly the name of the company. It was like 3 different companies, and I just did it. And then boom, yeah. But after a certain amount of time, I gained a relationship with somebody, so I don't really pay nothing.
Gotcha.
I just gotta, because I ain't got to pay insurance. Like, I ain't got to pay for this oil change. I ain't got to do nothing.
I like that.
So
I like that.
Because Because overall, $80 a week.
That's probably somebody that bought their car. It just yeah.
Yeah, because the thing about it, just like I said, I wrecked one of their cars, and I just went and got another one.
Right.
Insurance.
Oh, you said you still have the other car?
No.
What? What other car?
No,
You only drive the one, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, for sure. All right, cool. All right, that's all I needed. I appreciate it, man. Yo, if you know anybody that drive for Uber that need a vehicle, let me know. I'm in the business.
Okay, I got you.
All right, bet. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, let me know how it goes.
All right, I will.
All right.
See?
Yo, he's paying $220 a week for 4 months.
Let's do the math.
The car note had to be $400.
Let's do the math, bro.
$300.
$220 a week.
And the car wasn't nothing crazy.
220 times 4 times 4 months. How many weeks in a month? 8 times
4. So 880 times 4.
880
which
times
is
4.
probably $3,500. $3,500
in 4 months. And the car, depending on what car, you can buy a cash car for $8,000.
Right. And here's the thing. My biggest thing is the actual. Well, let me ask you this: how much time is required?
So that goes into another section of the course where I talk about operational model. So I talk about revenue model, how you can bring in income, business model on whether you want to be an owner, broker. What's another option we got? We got a subletter. We'll talk about all that. But then as far as operational model, you can be all hands in or you can be hands off. It's up to you.
Right.
For me,
so I give it to Uber drivers. That's hands off because he just had the car. He driving.
That's a hands off model. If somebody wants to be, I actually want to learn more about cars. I want to be learning about detailing cars.
You know what's crazy too? I just thought about it because he said he wrecked that first car, which means if he didn't wreck the first car, he probably still have that joint and not have found another way.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be paying that $80 that for the car.
Dang,
that's a fact. Anyways, there's people who are out on the streets who are willing to pay. Some people are paying probably $400 because their insurance or their history, they're paying more. And because of their bad situation, you say, well, I'll take the pain off you, the burden off you, give you $100 off. That means you're making an extra $100 a week in their eyes.
Yeah,
that's how they're looking at it. They just made an extra $100 a week just by utilizing somebody else's car.
All right. Okay.
Crucial.
I'm about to buy your course. Okay, and I'm gonna put it on in the link below.
You already gonna get access for that. Stop talking.
Well, yo, one, I appreciate it, man, because this is really the game that people need to understand. Passive income. You don't gotta be creative and come up with a cool T-shirt line, or you don't gotta be good at cutting hair. Like you just really gotta outthink it, get the information,
and be exposed to that information. That's it. Matter of fact, there's one more option.
I always wonder how you got so many cars. You just buy them all in the same time because
2 weeks. There's no difference between somebody going to buy one car than me buying extra 33 cars. There's no difference. I just did the same process 33 more times with somebody.
Goodness gracious.
And I learned how to talk, how to communicate, how to get better deals. Imagine practicing the same thing over and over and over. You're going to refine it every time to the point where now I can teach people how to get it right the first time.
Yeah.
Crucial. Now I can see, now I look at cars different. Like I posted on my Instagram, I saw a car that had dust on the car. I'm like, yo, that means somebody's not using this car. For multiple reasons. If anybody sees a car that has dust on it, whether it's a luxury car, no matter what it is, this case was a BMW, a nice BMW, super dusty that was parked in the garage. I'm like, okay, there's a couple reasons why this can be parked. That person can be either locked up or on a very, very long vacation, right? I've seen situations where people be locked up.
Yeah.
Now they're locked up with a car sitting there doing nothing, right? They don't trust their friends or their family to go get it because they're going to be driving around doing it. So they didn't know that there's an option to say, yo, I can have somebody I trust, a professional, to get the keys. I'll let them know where the key is, that I stashed the key and rent the car off from me. And that money can help me pay for my lawyer. That money will help me pay for my commissary, pay for whatever situation. You can get cash flow in jail for the car that you already purchased before.
Brilliant.
So many options. And I've done this before. I've actually seen somebody have a car. He had multiple cars though. He had 3 cars. At first, he was making so much money he can afford it. But it got to a point where he didn't have that same income, right? And he didn't have enough money to fix the engine in the car or fix the tire on the car. Right? So I say, yo, I noticed you got 3 cars and you don't drive that one. What's up with it? Yeah, I only got a flat tire. Are you sure that's all? He only told me a flat tire. I was like, cool. I rent out cars. If I pay you $600 a month, would you give me the keys for the car and let me rent it out? He said, run it. He was excited. I just tested it out. This is my first time testing it out, right? Usually I'm thinking it's like a numbers game. Some people will say yes, some people. I got a yes on my first go around. Signed the document, told him how many miles I was allowed to put on it. I found out the car was a little jerky. I found out he needed new cylinders and an engine coil. Got that fixed. Got the parts from Mercedes, got it fixed. Got a new tire, car rolling. Got me a 2016 Mercedes white, pearl white, brown interior, CLS 500. I didn't have to put any cash down on the car as far as at the dealership. I did pay him a deposit. I paid him $600 deposit and $600 upfront for 500. But I know I'm gonna get my money back in 3 weeks.
For sure.
Times 3.
Yeah.
Times 3. Those deals exist. People were begging you to take my car.
I love it. I can't wait to go car shopping again later this week.
I know you love the process. I was happy.
Look, we've been here for a good little minute, man. I want to say thank you for just opening up and being transparent. Like it ain't really about buying. Of course, you gave so much information on this show that like people can really be empowered and know that there are options.
Absolutely.
Like you have money. If people want to start a business, you got a business in your driveway right now.
I'm gonna steal that line. You have a business sitting in your driveway right now.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
So I definitely have one. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you.
So I'm on social media primarily. I like to funnel everybody through my Instagram. I love my Instagram. So my Instagram is CEO Matty J on Instagram.
You on Clubhouse yet?
Clubhouse? I heard about it. What is that?
It's a vibe.
Yo, you put me on?
I'll do what I can.
I
gotta call somebody to call somebody. You know what I'm saying?
He said
you have to be invited to it. And I use my invitation.
Running.
I got you. We'll
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you.
So I'm on Instagram right now, and of course I got my website, ceomattyj.com. Anybody who wants to sign up for the course can hit that link.
Yeah, link in the bio right now, okay?
And the course is crazy. And it's a mentorship too. So we meet every Monday at 9:30 Eastern time. So it's not just a course, even though the value, I'm going through the process.
So you got the people in that's on the business, and you're like walking. Oh,
we be going crazy. We just had our meeting yesterday. Yo, man, I just got somebody got a Range Rover. His name is George. Shout out to George. He got a Range Rover, and my boy Will, Mr. Pitstop Will. He got his Scat Pack. He rented it out from Detroit. He out here. He rented it out to his friends. He said, "Yeah, I made a couple hundred already. I just got my Scat Pack."
What's the Scat Pack?
It's a Dodge Challenger, I believe. Yeah.
Dang, I'm excited. Let's go. Yeah. All right, so I will be billing out this passive 10 grand a month. Just passive. Something like, 10, 20 grand.
Yeah,
something
easy. Something light. It's a good play, man. And what's crazy is the more this gets exposed to everybody, there's gonna be so many people in this industry, even transferring from the real estate or doing both. Yeah. Because this is like we're in an age where there's peer-to-peer platforms, meaning we're more acceptable to share with each other, share Uber rides, share our personal items, share our spaces. Yeah. That's what we're doing now with platforms like Airbnb, Peerspace, Turo. It's time to capitalize.
I love it. Well, look, I like to make predictions on this podcast, man. I want to be able to ask you a question of where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years.
Golly, you already know the answer to that. Oh my goodness.
I know.
In heaven. I'm trying to be in heaven, man. I'm tired of this world, man. It's stressful. No, I'm playing.
So that we can look back on this video to say,
dope. Dang, we talked about that.
We talked about it.
That's hard.
So,
if
given that God doesn't come back.
Yeah, if there's no video footage in heaven by the time, this world is crazy. Somebody gonna push that button. Right. Anyways, but if we do have the opportunity to still be, you know what I'm saying, right, to look back on this video, what I'm gonna be doing is teaching people the importance of masterminding and working together in unity. Right now, there isn't groups and subgroups of people gathering together and helping each other with a specific mission. Whatever their mission is, I want to help cultivate those gatherings together, not just online, but in person, primarily in person. So that's what I really have a passion for. But in order for people to gather, they have to have common interests. Yeah. We typically gather when we play basketball or sports activities. But where are we gathering for specific business purposes? Of course, people gather for faith. That's what church is for. People gather for eating. That's what eating is for. But business is not really too much gathering on whatever missions that people have, so they can bounce ideas with each other, share their challenges, share their experiences, and be real vulnerable and transparent with each other and help each other grow.
I I love it.
Both business, not just business as well, but personal development as well. That's really big.
For sure. All right. Well, look, man, I need y'all to do me a favor and get some bars together to close this out. Follow my boy, CEO Matty J.
Yes, sir.
This podcast is a sponsor by The Morning Meetup, the only community.
The Morning Meetup, I got invited to the Morning Meetup. I said, where do I sign up? Because this is the only platform where you can wake up in the morning and start your day off the right way. With like the cycle I'm talking about, gathering of minds.
100%.
And it's organic. Everybody's talking, getting good feedback. I'm starting my day. I'm like, dang, I got to kill the day now. Yeah. So I'm telling from experience. I joined the Morning Meetup. I was on there this morning.
Yeah.
Mr. Kendall, flicking, went crazy. So if you're not part of the Morning Meetup, you're tripping.
Yeah, it's community, and we get to grow together. And about people got together. They started businesses together. They business partners, like they get bags together.
Hey, y'all meant to be.
I'm like, y'all didn't invite me. Y'all get together in Atlanta. I'm like, y'all could have called me. You know what I'm saying? But go to themorningmeetup.com. Make sure you join the community, and make sure you take advantage of Matty J's rental business program, okay? Because it just seems now it clicks 2 years later that this is a simple passive income strategy. So if you will, man, just close us out.
The closeout will be the biggest lesson for me that came through this whole entire process. It wasn't for me, and again, this is me personally. It wasn't about income. It wasn't about the cash. It wasn't about the nice cars. The biggest takeaway for me was character development. What forms our personality are the little traits that we have in our character. So I learned patience through this business, extreme patience. I learned organizational skills. I learned hospitality. I learned cleanliness. I learned all these things that I thought I was already okay with. I got exposed. I realized through this business that, dang, I'm really not good at organization like I thought I was. I'm really not good with customer service and support like I thought I was, because I'm getting tested every day. I got people driving my cars telling me, yo, I'm dropping the car whenever I feel like it. Test.
Dang.
I got people giving me fake IDs. Test. How am I going to react to this situation? So character is really how you react to certain situations. So now I've been through all the ups and downs. I know how to train myself, have self-discipline because of this business, to be able to evaluate my thoughts and respond in a gracious way that doesn't make me look crazy. And it helps them see, like, hey, he could have went off on me, but he did. You know what I'm saying? Kill him with kindness. Right. And this is a teaching, a biblical teaching that I'm learning through business. So that's my biggest takeaway, is recognizing the personal development that comes through business.
Awesome,
Please do.
Awesome. Man, take heed. Okay, I can't wait to see y'all on the weekly calls. When's the weekly calls?
Mondays. Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Gotcha. Can't wait to see you on the weekly calls. Take advantage, and we will see you at the top.
Yes, sir.